ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯃꯤꯡ ꯎꯁꯝ ꯅꯤꯡꯊꯧꯈꯣꯝꯕ ꯃꯤꯇꯩ ꯑꯩ ꯏꯪꯂꯤꯁꯀꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥꯅꯤ. Hi everyone. Today we will be doing Yudhishthira's Piety and Wisdom, class 7 chapter number 5 English supplementary reader. Actually, piety, it means religious, being very religious, the one who believes in God very much. Not like my God is better than your God, thinking that God is one and we believe in God, that type of person. It is called being piety. Then wisdom, haragadi, it is just wise, just oiba, wise oiba, that is called wisdom. So this story is based on an interesting episode from the Mahabharata. Actually, the story of Mahabharata is about the rivalry between two groups of cousins, the Kaurava or the 100 brothers and the Pandava, the 5 brothers. So one day they were playing a dice game. The Kaurava brothers and the Pandava brothers, they were playing a dice game. Dice game, it's a kind of board game which was somewhat similar with Ludo. We play games like Ludo just for fun, but sometimes we also do some betting. Like if I win, you have to give me 10 rupees, or if you win, I have to give you 10 rupees. We do some kind of betting while playing Ludo. So, but they were princes. So they were not playing for fun. They were risking their kingdoms, their thrones on bet. Yes, they were using the kingdoms and thrones as stake. So if they lost the game, they will lose the kingdom. So unfortunately, the Pandav brothers, lost the game of dice to the Kauravas. And they had to exile, means they had to go outside their kingdom in the jungles and stay there for 13 long and lonely years. So during this time, they had to move constantly from place to place for safety and to look for their daily needs. So it was difficult and exhausting time for them. So those days were very difficult for these Pandav brothers. Then it was very difficult time for them since they had to move from place to place and in search of food, and then they have to live in the jungle itself. So one day in the 12th year haragadi 13 years like doing ko moi said 13 years sugadawa chahi amatang walingai 12 years the 12th so year do maduda the Pandava brothers saw a deer, and then they ran after the deer deep into the forest. And then actually the deer was not an ordinary deer. It's a simple deer, but it was none other than the Yama. We also call as Zom or Zomras, the god of death. So Yama or Yamras had taken the form of the animal so that he might test the piety and wisdom of Yudhishthira. So he wanted to test how much wise, how much religious is Yudhishthira. So Yama, the Hindu god of death, wanted to test this Yudhishthira's wisdom and his piety. So the sun was hot overhead and the 5 brothers grew very tired and thirsty. The deer had somehow vanished. So mahono tanaragpa mogi deer amo tanar ini ko jungle jungle ini madugi deer dudi ke dore mang thokre. They had lost the deer, and at last they came to a stop, realizing it was a useless chase. So they gave up the idea of chasing the deer. So Yudhishthira sat down under a tree to rest, to take rest, and told Nakula to climb up a tree and see if there is any pool or river nearby, since they were feeling very thirsty. So here, before getting deeper with the lesson, let me tell you the names of the Pandava brothers, the 5 Pandava brothers. So first it was Yudhishthira, second Bhima, we also call him as Bhim or sometimes Bhimasena, then Arjuna, then Nakula, and last one Sahadeva. So among these, Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna were Kunti's children, whereas Nakula and Sahadeva were twins, given birth by Madri. So their father's name was Pandu, and Pandu had 2 wives, Kunti and Madri. So Kunti's children were Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, whereas Madri's children were the twins, Nakula and Sahadeva. Unfortunately, their father Pandu died and their mother Madri also died. So that is why they are left with only Kunti, the mother Kunti. So as I have told you earlier, Yudhishthira was famous for his wisdom. So likewise, Bhima for its strength. Arjuna, he was very famous for his skill of using weapons. So lots of weapons. Then especially shooting with an arrow, which we call archery. Arjuna haisana. So lastly, the twins Nakula and Sahadeva. Sometimes people think that Nakula and Sahadeva's roles were not important, but that is wrong. So they were also great warriors. So coming back to the lesson, Nakula was told to climb the tree and look around for water. He did that. He saw water, plants, and cranes a little way off. Kitang chalakanda mana nga saigi kainogumba, khigi nganu gumba, khigi cranes gumba, adagidi crane haragadi uchek isingdal leiba paiba sungamot oiduniko. Then some plants, adagidi water. He was seeing. So that is why he thought there is a lake or a river, something like that. So Yudhishthira sent him to fetch some water to drink. So Yudhishthira namabu ising laru chon thabire. Nakula was filled with joy. He was very happy when he got to the place and saw the pool. So he himself was very thirsty. So he thought that he would quench his own first before returning with water for his brothers. So he would drink the water first before getting it for his brothers, since he himself was also feeling very thirsty. But no sooner did he dip his hands in the cool water, a voice rang out. Karigumbo konjel namakag voice amakag thoreko. When he was about to drink the water, he was just dipping. He was just putting his hands into the water. A voice rang out, an invisible voice. So the voice said, "Stop, Nakula. Do not drink. This is an enchanted pool. This is a magical pool, and it belongs to me. So no one may drink its water without answering my questions. So if you want to drink the water, you should answer my questions first. A question kara hangakani, a question singje, nanakumgadawuni, and if you can answer my questions, then only you can drink the water." Nakula looked up in surprise. He could see nobody. He felt too tired and thirsty to heed, means to pay attention to the warning. So he was so tired that he was not in a position to listen what the voice was trying to say. By then, he didn't really care whoever it was. So he knelt down and began to drink the water. At once, he felt terribly drowsy, sleepy, and he fell unconscious. He fell down unconscious. When Nakula didn't return for a long time, Yudhishthira sent Sahadeva, the other brother, to see what the matter was. Magi atopa manawang pa Sahadeva na mamong thari. Sahadeva reached the pool. Though he was upset to see his brother lying on the ground like he was dead, but he rushed to the pool to quench his burning thirst. Since it was done by Yama, the god of death, he was planning all those things. That is why he was overpowered by his thirst. So in order to quench his thirst, he went there to drink the water. Again, the voice said, "Oh Sahadeva, answer my questions before you drink the water." So if you want to drink the water, answer my questions first. So like Nakula, Sahadeva also paid no attention to the warning. He drank the water and at once he too fell down. So Yudhishthira became very worried when Sahadeva too didn't return. First Nakula didn't return, now Sahadeva is also gone and he hasn't returned. So he sent Arjuna to see whether the brothers had met with any danger. Danger Arjuna soon arrived at the spot and found both his brothers Nakula and Sahadeva lying unconscious near the pool. So he was shocked, surprised at the sight. So he couldn't believe what he was seeing and felt that they must have been killed by some hidden enemy. Enemy ma. There must be some enemy lying there, hiding somewhere, and they must have killed my brothers in a kalle. So heartbroken with grief, with sorrow, he wanted to avenge their deaths. So which meant he wanted to kill the person who had killed his brother. Magi brother simbu hatu piliwamido ay hat lagi na kankre manako. However, he too was overwhelmed by an uncontrollable thirst. So he was overpowered by the thirst. He was so thirsty. He wanted to drink water so much that he was very helpless, which drove him down towards the fatal pool. So again, the warning voice was heard again. So answer my questions before you drink the water, Arjuna. So the voice was saying that if you disobey me, you will follow your brothers. If you don't listen to me and answer my questions, then you will also be dead, just like your brothers. So this was the voice. Arjuna became very angry. He cried, Who are you? Show yourself, and I will kill you. So mana ngasai voice na thakiganu natrade nang sunang inanaw pagi sumaina nang sigani harak matamda Arjuna was very angry, and Arjuna cried, "Who are you? Nang kanhano ko? Show yourself, and I will kill you." So he shot a sharp arrows in the direction of the voice ko. So mogi makhol tar iba direction do majuda mana arrow makapsale. But as I have told you earlier, Arjuna was known for his archery. He was very famous, very popular for his archery. Here, since he was not able to know who was a person and where was he shot the arrow blindly. The invisible being laughed scornfully. So, laughing scornfully means laughing to show disrespect. Something like, I don't care, do whatever you want to do. I'll be safe. You cannot harm me. Haiba adugumba nana ingwanda kem to wanga mo haibagi ko. Adugumba attitude amada mas mi yam ushita no emana ko. So the voice said, your arrows can't touch me. Answer my questions, and then you can satisfy your thirst. You can drink the water. So if you drink the water without doing so, without answering my questions, you will die. So Arjuna wanted to destroy this unseen foe, this unseen enemy. But first he had to quench his overpowering thirst. So he drank the water, and also he fell down dead. So after an anxious wait, Yudhishthira turned to Bhima. So Bhima was the only brother left with him now. So their brother, even Arjuna, the great hero, hasn't returned. So something terrible, something very, very bad must have happened to our brothers. Please find them quickly. So Bhima hurried away without another word. Bhima do kaidore yamna thuna maji chakre ko yenguragi haidana. So his grief means sadness, and rage means anger. So his grief and rage knew no bounds when he saw his three brothers lying there dead. He thought this is certainly the work of the Yakshas. So Yakshas haragadi kanano? Yakshas, according to Hindu mythology, Hindus believe ka. Yaksha means Yakshas were semi-divine spirits. They were half demons, half god. So Manipuri the haragadi moisi hinjaba tangkai, lai tangkai admain oiba, yamna mischievous oiba, yamna naughty oiba, madugumba makhalam oiramdani ko Yakshas. So Bhim thought that it must be the work of Yakshas. Some Yakshas must have done this. They must have killed my brothers. So I will hunt them down and kill them. But oh, I'm so thirsty. I shall first drink some water so that I can fight them better. And he knelt down beside the pool. So for today, let's do up to here. In the next class, we will see the rest of the story. Sida ako'y nakidokre, ngasaygi Bhima ze, mana ngasaygi, was he able to fight the Yakshas? Was he able to kill the Yakshas? Or the brothers hingdudi adum shikhibra, hawgalak hibra, all those things we will learn in the next class.